Wutaki. Welcome, David.
Hi, thanks for the invite.
Awesome. Well, first off, I would love it if you could tell us about yourself and also about this game we're going to be talking about today.
Okay, my name is David Rimbach. I'm from Germany, as you might hear in my voice or in my speech. Um, Wutaki is a highly interactive worker placement game in a fantasy world with lots of worms and otherworldly creatures you will see there. And yeah, it's a fun game where you can have a strategy, but it's also a lot of take that and interaction between the players and all sorts of that. So it's really cool game.
Nice. Well, before we get started deep into the game, right? How
Yeah.
did you get into game design? Well, what got you on this journey?
I think I was always into games, and we always played in the family. And when I look back at the time when I was with a child, I always tried to find new things together with my sister in games, and we made like expansions for known games that we played back then, and that always stayed with me. And I like to learn new stuff, and I like to find new things for myself. So. Then I had an idea for my first game, which is Schnapp die Möpse. It's a German game called, I guess, Catch Them Puggies. It's about pugs, the dogs. And
Oh,
after that, it just evolved into playing more, finding more games, and a higher interest in games themselves. And then I had a new idea for my new game. And yeah, I think that's my story for that.
gotcha. Wait, and for pugs, do you have a pug yourself? Is that why your first game was about pugs?
I always wanted a pug, but no, I have a Labrador.
A lab. Okay, okay, a big dog instead of like a
It's
little pug.
yeah, but she's a small Labrador, but she's just lovely as hell and just all the joy.
Yeah, that's true. Labs are really, really friendly. Love it.
Yeah, they are. She just loves everybody, wherever and whenever she sees somebody, she's just running there and just overwhelming them with joy and love.
Oh, I
I
love
always say
that.
she's like Forrest Gump. She's not the smartest dog, but she knows what love is. So
Oh, and you can feel that. Yeah, yeah. That's great. Thanks for sharing that. And so you had that first game, and now you're in this, creating this new game, Wutaki. What compelled you to create this game, right? We were kind of talking about it earlier, where you were like, okay, we just thought about a name, it's kind of came to you. How about this
yeah.
game in general? What compelled you to create this one?
Um, well, I guess it was kind of a coincidence because I wanted to create a game about zombies because I generally love zombies and everything about them. If it's movies, games, whatever, Zombicide brought me into gaming a few years back. And when I was making the game for zombies and I just eating brains and stuff, and at one point I was just maybe it's a bit too horrific for the main target audience, and then I thought, okay, let's do it with worms. Let's just switch the theme, and then Butaki became was evolving into this thing that it is right now. And the other thing is that when you play worker placement games, they're mostly solitary games. I think there are not too many worker placement games where you really have like the interaction between players, where it's really high. I mean, I don't know if you played Yellow, the old game,
No.
or the new version. That's kind of a nice game where you have great interaction with players. But that was missing for me in some games. So that's what I wanted to create in this game, where you have like the chance to play strategically and have a plan, but also just to attack people and just destroy their plans, and they have to make a new one, because that's what gaming for me is about, just adapting and doing other things, trying other things.
Got it. Yeah, I really like that you kind of took something that you really wanted to see happen
Yeah.
in games and you kind of built that up for yourself in this new game that you're creating. So tell us more about Wutaki. How does it play?
How does it play? I mean, in its core, it's probably a more or less standard worker placement game, but then there's just some mechanics in there. The main story is that we're small folk, a simple-minded worm-like folk, and we believe that the monster is our god, and it lives in a volcano, and the volcano is about to erupt, so we have to soothe it and just sacrifice stuff for it. So that's the main thing, and there are some mechanics where when you fulfill a pact or a quest, for that matter, you put the resources on the board to the monster, and you can rob them from the monster later. So the monster punishes you then, and you can always take stuff from other players and get into this. And you have just a lot of ways you have to, or a lot of things you have to keep in mind. Every player is controlling an element, and you try to gain pacts where you can sacrifice things to the monster to make victory points, and those pacts are suited to one element, so you get bonus points at the end, and you have a small deduction element where you can find out, or where you're trying to find out what element other players are controlling, so you can hurt them by giving them one element that they don't want to have, the anti-element. And so there's just all the parts that are interlocked with each other, where you can just go and pick up on. And yeah, it's just really high in replayability. Like, I played this game in the final version maybe 200 times now, with
Wow.
all different people all over the world, and each game is new. I mean, you have round cards, you have different elements, you have all the things that the players are doing, and every time I'm playing it, it's always a new game in some way. Some are fast, some are slow, some are aggressive, some are peaceful, and it's amazing to me.
Wow.
Maybe I
Yeah.
got a little offhand from your question there, but
Yeah, no, this is great. It seems like there's a lot of interactivity and interaction within the game itself,
oh
right?
yeah,
Like stuff that you're doing with the board, you're doing with other people too at the same time, which I
yeah,
can see why you're saying it's so different every single time, especially if you're playing with different people from around the world too.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so from here, right? Tell us about like what's kind of your favorite part of the game, right?
My
What are
favorite
you super proud of?
but I'm super proud of everything in the game, or yeah, from the game is by me. So I did the artwork, I did the design, I did the playtesting, the Tabletopia mod, the tabletop simulator mod, the marketing. It's all from one person, from me, and that's what I'm really proud of, and that I love the game. I mean, sometimes you create a game and you like it, but you don't love it, but you just keep going because, well, you put in the effort. But that's really, I love this game really much. And another part is the replayability, what I just said in the last part. Yeah, and that's just so changing, and the game just really adapts to the way the players are playing it. If you want to play aggressively, the game is for you, because the game gives you the chance to be aggressive. If you want to play solitary, you can do that as well, because there are just lots of options where you can go and just do your thing and let other players do their thing. So that's it's for everybody, really.
Yeah. So let me touch on that part at the beginning where you said that you did all of this by yourself.
Yeah.
What background do you have? Do you have like an art background? Do you have
I'm a photographer.
okay.
For many years, I was self-employed as a commercial photographer. I was doing um, commercial photos for Amazon and stuff. So I guess I have an artsy background, but I always like to draw. Like I said, I always try to do new stuff, to learn new stuff, and to just enhance my skills and to go from there. And I wanted to work with an artist on Wutaki. Um, but it didn't work out. I mean, I don't want to call him out, but um, we just had different time schedules, and he was very busy, and I wanted to go further along, and so I just started to draw, and it just went from there, and I liked what I saw, and now I love it. Yeah.
Wow. You've done everything yourself. How do you do it? How long has this taken you? Like how much time do you spend on it? I know a lot of people are thinking about going at it by themselves too. Talk to us
Yeah.
more about that.
Well, I quit my job. Well,
Okay.
I have to say I'm very fortunate in the way that my first game with a few expansions and some other stuff are doing very well here in Germany. So I can basically live off that. And now I use just all my time, get Wutaki done, and it takes up all of my time. Where I'm sitting here on this desk in like from 10 a.m. to sometimes two in the night, and doing stuff, thinking of a way to enhance the game, to draw new stuff, getting to know new people like you, networking in the Facebook groups, and learning about shipping, taxes, and uh, preparing the Kickstarter page and stuff. So it really takes a lot of time, and I guess you know that yourself, how much time it takes to just build something if you're doing it all yourself. So yeah,
How do
never
you,
underestimate it.
yeah, how do you decide what to focus on?
Sometimes it's just what I want to do, because because nobody's sitting here and telling me what to do, so I can choose what I want to do. And sometimes it's just the thing that needs to be done right now, if I like it or not. I mean, who really wants to sit over PDF files with taxes and import structures and stuff, and trying to read it in a language that's not your own? So yeah, but it has to be done. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Sometimes it's the universe just decides for you, and that's good.
Yeah, yeah. Like, oh, I have to do this right now. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have a question coming in from one of the people watching right now. They asked, how did you play with other players in the world, video chat or Tabletopia? Can you kind of talk to us more about that?
Yeah, sure. Well, I always try to get people to the table, but it's really limited right now. This COVID situation is making it hard for designers to just get people together. So it's Tabletopia and Tabletop Simulator, where you just put your game up. It's for everybody to see. It's free to play for everybody. And I'm using Discord to just get in touch with people, having the video chat on. Mike as well, explain the game, and then we play a few rounds, and if they like it, we play a whole game. So that's basically what I was doing I guess last half of the year. So yeah, and that's a really great way to get your game known by a great audience all over the world, and just experience different kind of players. I mean, Tabletopia and Tabletop Simulator, they're different from what is happening on a table, where you can see everything with your eyes and it's just known to you. But if you get a hang of it, I think it really helps game developers to just get more info about what players need and what they want and how they are playing your game.
That's a really really solid answer there, of like how it's different than
Yeah.
actually physically playing with someone face to face, but you can definitely get the hang of it too.
Yeah. Well, usually it just takes longer because people are not used to it, used to um, getting the mouse to put a meeple somewhere, and it just takes longer. But in the end, if you're used to it, it's just time saving, because you don't have to set up the table, you don't have to put it back in the box, and it's set up already, so you can start right away, and it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, and if people here listening want to play test Wutaki with you, how do they do that?
Well, they can. I'm in your Facebook group, so they can write me there. They can go to Facebook, Instagram, my homepage. It's everything is Hodari Spiele. It's a little hard to say for Americans, I guess, but it's Hodari Spiele. Sorry. We are on YouTube. They can find the game on Tabletopia. The rules are there as well. Tabletop Simulator is private for now because it's not finished, but Tabletopia is free, so they can go there and just play it, or just come to me. They can find the Discord channel on my homepage and join there and talk to me, and yeah, we'll play
Awesome.
around.
What does Hodari Spiel mean?
Well, when I was first, when I did my first game, I didn't have a company in mind, so I just thought, well, I'm just doing a game, just out of fun. I just doing it, and threw it on Amazon, and it worked. So I thought, well, that's kind of nice, and I will try. I will try to make more because I just loved the experience in the first one. And then I thought, well, maybe I need a brand. So I thought, well, what's a good name? And I tried many things with David and Rimbach. That's my name.
Mhm.
And in the end, I just thought, well, just take the first two letters from my name and my nickname, which is Hobbs, and it's Hobbs David Rimbach, Hodari, and then Spiele means games in German, so Hobbs David Rimbach games.
Ah, I see. Okay, so it's like short versions of like part of your name all together.
Yeah,
Okay, that's really cool. It's really catchy too.
I think so. Yeah, I should have thought about the international aspect that back then, and should just put the Hodari games there. That would be probably better, but well,
Hey, this gives it, a very cultural flavor and cultural influence of who you are and like where you're from.
yeah.
So it's great. uh, okay, so like from here, we talked about kind of the fact that you're doing everything by yourself, right?
Mhm.
We talked about how you're kind of getting this game on. There's like a lot of interactivity. You're playing with a lot of people, right? Talk to us more about, I guess, like some of the challenges you faced, getting this game to the table, getting this game out there.
Yeah, I mean, basically doing everything is hard. So that was a big challenge and still is a big challenge in preparing the Kickstarter and stuff, and just managing all the time load. I put some notes there, so sorry if I don't look at you. Uh, uh, just that part that's just time consuming as hell. Um, and with that, also managing to keep the other project that I have, the future projects, with me and in mind, and just working on those. Um, and failures, I didn't have too many failures with Wutaki because I think I had probably a bit of luck from the beginning. But the few failures that I had was with player experiences from the testing, from the early testing, which were also a big help for me, because when people say, okay, that and that is wrong and I don't like it, you have to think about it, and you can think about those parts and just make it better. So I had some pretty harsh critics at the beginning, and I fixed those and worked on those and take them to my heart, and worked on it, and now it's really awesome, and nobody complains a lot, which is sometimes weird, but I think it's also a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. No, I understand, how tough it can be to hear that something you're creating might not be the best or can be improved, but
Yeah,
it's so necessary, right? To like kind of
it is.
build this product. Yeah. Can you
The first
touch?
few
Yeah.
the first few critiques were pretty overwhelming. If you're just taking your baby to the table and just, hey, this is my game, look at it, let's play it, and from like the first and second round on, they're just sitting there like, well, I don't like it. It's pretty hard, and you have to get used to it, and you have to remind yourself that it's their opinion and it's their right to don't like the game, and you just have to understand what their problem is and what they're feeling and what they're saying, and just think of if it's right or if it's wrong, and if you have to change it. And now, if I hear criticism, I really like it, because then I have something to think about and I have something to work on, and just for an overall better game at the end, hopefully. So I really like criticism now.
Awesome. Well, I love that like kind of mindset shift where
Yeah,
you appreciate that now.
yeah, I do.
Yeah. So from this, right? What was the game like towards the beginning, and how has it evolved and changed over time to be what it is right now?
Oh. Well, I'm working on this game for 2 years now. So um, the really harsh critics were right at the beginning, where I think were a lot of unnecessary aspects to the game. Like, there's asymmetry in the game, and back then there was just a lot of it. Like when you see games like Root or something like that, their main point is that they're asymmetric, and everybody loves the games for this. But I think that was a big problem because every player had to really think about what they're doing and what they have to keep in mind, and but maybe it was a bit too complex at the beginning. Um, that was it. Now it's a bit more streamlined, but not too much. It's still a pretty heavy game. I mean, it's like middleweight, upper middleweight stuff, but I think that was a big concern to most players at the beginning.
Got it. Got it. And you know, you're constantly kind of like creating and building out new games and new worlds. Like how do you kind of get ideas for this? Because Wutaki, you said, was inspired by like your love for zombies, and it now became this like kind of cartoonish world. How did that kind of come about? How did you kind of form this new world?
That's a good question. Well, how to get inspiration? I guess just from basically living and watching other stuff. Like I mean, I'm a big movie nerd. I like movies a lot. I watch series all the time if I have the time. And just sometimes I'm sitting at a restaurant eating and I get an idea for something because somebody said something and just like, oh, well, that could be a nice game if you just take this and this. So I guess like everyday things inspire me, and of course you're playing a game and you think, well, that's a nice game and that's a nice mechanic. If you do this with this theme, then it's completely different. But well, well, I'm not saying
Yeah.
I'm stealing, but you're getting influenced by everything you do, and yeah, I think those are the two points, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. And how did you kind of form this world with the art that you currently have? Or you said one day you started kind of like drawing and doodling and you really liked how it formed. How did zombies become what we see on your coming soon page?
uh, well, that's a good question as well. Um, I think I don't have an answer for it because what I like is really just sitting there thinking about what this thing should be, and then it just evolves. I think when I first the first thing I drew for Wutaki was the player board. It's the tower of power where you control your element and where you can upgrade your tower and where your additional workers sit at the basement. And it was it should have been a placeholder. So I just wanted to try and say, okay, this should be here, this should be here, and I'm always a stickler for detail. So when I draw something, I will zoom in like this big, draw everything in there, and just zoom it back out. And I did that for I think just a couple of hours, and in the end, it just became this thing because I'm somehow limited in the illustration that I can provide, that I can do, and well, if you just put enough time in it, then it just evolves into something. And this aspect of evolving is something that just stays with me because every time I just start something and it just goes from there and it's just building. I'm never sitting there and just say, okay, I want to do a dungeon crawler with this, and this, and then I'm doing exactly that. If I start with that idea, at the end it's something completely different, and I love the way between. So that's how I go about that, I think.
Got it. Okay, so it kind of like it like builds off of each other, and you kind of let your mind like kind of go a little bit and let
Yeah,
it
it's just
build and build.
brainstorming and see what comes out. If you don't like it, just delete it, and if you like it, well, stay with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how is it kind of working alone to build this world too, right? What is it like? Do you kind of talk to yourself? Do you kind of go on different like blogs or forums and like talk to other people to bounce ideas off of? Like, what's your process like?
Uh, well, I think I'm not talking to myself. Sometimes I do play a game with my or by myself for more players. So the first time I'm playing game, I'm just sitting there. Okay, this player does this, then I'm just going to the left, and this player does this. So that's kind of weird, I guess, for people that are not known to those kinds of things. And but basically, I love it. I can think about what I want to do. I can try something. I can just get rid of it, and at the end of the day, I can go just to my group of friends and family and say, okay, I have a new idea. I have this. What do you think of it? My girlfriend is a big help. She's in marketing as well as you, and whenever I have something, I can just show her and talk to her about it. So that's kind of there's a back and forth, and that helps me a lot. So I'm not really alone, but I mean the workload is done by me, so
Yeah.
I have people to talk about and talk to. And of course, now I'm trying to get more out there, get networked, get network going, get to try to get in contact with people in Facebook groups, on social media. Just say, okay, this is here. What do you think? And just try to get into conversation with those people.
Yeah. So how's that been like? How's been growing a community and like kind of networking with the community? What are your thoughts so far, and how's it been just building up this for Wutaki? You have like over maybe 500 followers on your pre-launch page already, which is incredible, right?
Almost to 600.
Yeah.
I'm trying that. Well, it's awesome. I really love it because I mean, COVID helps in this aspect because people are at home a lot of times, and they have the time to play online and to try new things, and they're open to it because they're just bored. So I guess that helps in those aspects. But other than that, in Germany, particularly, now I'm in touch with a lot of YouTubers, with Instagrammers. I would say some of them I call friends now because we're just in a nice network together. We're talking. I'm talking to some of those every day, and I love it. It's awesome. I don't want to miss one thing of it. And yeah, that's basically one positive thing that I'm taking with me from the COVID time, I guess. And I really hope that stays with me when COVID is over, but we'll see how that works out.
Yeah. And for your upcoming launch, when can we expect this to come live? And also, what can we expect the campaign to be kind of like?
Ooh, spoilers. We will go
Teasers,
live.
teasers.
Teasers. Okay, we will go live on February 23rd. So it's a little bit over 2 weeks, I think. What can you expect? You can expect a lot of great things. Well, I plan to work with Panda, which is just pure quality. I love every game they put out, and for example, like Size, Wingspan, those Stonemaier games, they're from there. So it's just screams quality. So that's going for that. A lot of upgrades, a lot of, I think, some cool social goals that we're trying. Maybe a contest. And there's also a free gift if we fund in 24 hours for every backer. I mean, you have to do something now. People expect stuff to happen, and you can't just go on there and say, okay, that's my game, it's ready, take it or leave it. So we've prepared cool stuff.
Got it. Okay. So like really great manufacturing quality, some like
Yeah.
contests to get people really involved. 24-hour funding goal where everyone gets something special. Okay, that's super exciting.
And metal coins.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, metal coins. Sold.
I love them. When a game provides those, I mean, that's
Yeah,
that's a big thing for me.
You're like, upgrade, please. Thank you. I'll
Yeah.
take the upgrade. Check. Yeah, no, this is great. So February 23rd, right? What time do you launch?
Well, it's gonna be around 18 to 19. What is it? No, it's 6 to 7 p.m. It's Germany time.
Okay.
So I guess it's 12 a.m. in America, around those, and we're gonna do a live launch on a board game related YouTube channel here in Germany. So that's kind of a new thing. I've never seen that before. Yeah,
What
that's
what what is that going to be like, a live launch? Are you going to be kind of streaming live, like pressing the launch button right there on the YouTube stream? Like, is that
well.
what we can tune into?
I wanted to drive to him. Stefan is his name, and wanted to do a cool video playing the game, just talking about it. And well, now it's COVID, so we can't do that. And so we thought, let's make a cool video via webcam and stuff. And because you can't have the game on the table, it's kind of awkward. And so we said, okay, maybe it's cool to just hang out together, talk about the game, talk about the campaign, maybe look at the campaign before everybody else can do that, and then press the button and just see how it goes for a small amount of time. I don't know. See what people are saying, get the chat going, that kind of stuff. Maybe
Got
I
it.
find something interesting to do while we're in there live, but I don't know. It's
Okay.
2 weeks. It's 2 weeks to play with, though.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Okay, so February 23rd, 6, 7 p.m. Time and local time in Germany that this will be
Yeah.
live. And if people want to follow along, there's actually the link to the pre-launch page I've linked under or below this video here. You can go to.
Awesome.
For David, if people want to kind of connect with you or like reach out, what's the best platform to do that?
Well, I guess it's Facebook or Instagram or Discord if you like to talk. So that's those three are just the best, I think.
Okay, and it's at Hodari Spiel.
Yeah,
all of it.
Wutaki
Okay.
Spiele. Right.
Hodari Spiele. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, well, that's great. Thank you so much for being on this, live here, and look forward to Wutaki. And again, thank you so much.
Thank you for the invite, and thank you for all the great things you're doing in your Facebook group and overall what you're doing. It's really amazing. It helps a lot of people. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for the kind words. All right, well, great to have you here. I'll see you online.